Today we are starting with physics chapter number 6 heat and energy. So what is heat? Heat is a form of energy. Uh, Heat can be created by different methods. The easiest method or the most common method of creation, you can't say creation, but you can say transformation of heat energy is from mechanical energy. And uh, moreover, in mechanical energy, we can say friction is the major cause of heat. When you rub two bodies against each other, their surfaces, when they are rubbed against each other, due to the friction between the surfaces, heat is produced. Heat can also be produced by other sources of energy. For example, light energy can also get converted into heat energy. The light from sun uh, warms up the temperature of earth. The sunlight is also responsible for converting light energy into heat energy. In the same way, uh, if you pass electric current through a metallic wire, heat energy is produced. So heat energy can be obtained by friction, by light, by electricity. It is obtained from chemical energy such as stored in fuels like coal, petroleum. If you burn these fuels, heat is produced. So heat is also a form of energy, very useful form of energy, which can be obtained by different methods. Now, how does this heat can be understood keeping in mind the kinetic theory of matter? The kinetic theory of matter states that every body is made up of tiny particles which are known as molecules. And these molecules are in random motion, and each molecule exerts a force of attraction on the other molecule. So these molecules possess energy, and the heat energy of the body is its internal energy, or is the measure of its heat energy possessed by a body is a measure of its internal energy possessed by the molecules. So if you have two bodies, suppose one is a hot body, another one is a cold body. A hot body, a hot body has more internal energy than an identical cold body. So when these two bodies are kept in contact, a hot body and a cold body, when they are kept in contact, the cold body warms up. The cold body warms up and the hot body cools down. That is, internal energy of cold body increases. Internal energy of cold body increases and internal energy of hot body decreases. So energy is transferred from hot body to the cold body. So heat energy is the measure of internal energy possessed by any body, and also it can be transferred when two bodies are kept in contact, physical contact. So the energy which flows from hot body to cold body is called heat energy, or simply the heat. On touching, a body appears hot to us when heat energy flows from that body to our hand. But if it appears cool to us, then the heat energy from our hand or our body flows to that other object. So this is a simple concept of heat which we have discussed till now. Okay, so we can now define what is heat. On the basis of our understanding, now we are able to define and understand what is heat. Heat is the internal energy of molecules constituting the body. It flows from a hot body to a cold body. Heat is the internal energy of molecules constituting the body. It flows from a hot body to a cold body. So basically, heat is a form of energy. How is heat measured? The unit of heat is the same as that of energy. The SI unit of heat is joule. Its symbol is capital J, and its CGS unit is erg. 1 joule is 10 raised to 7 erg. Other units of heat are calorie and kilocalorie. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 1000 calories. The units calorie and joule are related as 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 or approximately 4.2 joules. Okay, so all these uh, the names of the units, their relationships, or you can say unit conversion values, you have to memorize. Okay? Main units of heat will be joules and calories or kilocalories. You have to remember the relationship for interconversion. Although there are no numericals involved in this chapter, we have a chapter in class 10th, which is calorimetry, which is the science of measurement of heat, how to measure heat. Okay, so that in that chapter we are going to face a lot of numericals. Here in this chapter, this is only a theory based chapter, but these informations regarding the units of heat can be asked as objective questions. So that's why you need to remember. Okay, so now that we know what is heat, we can understand what is temperature. When a hot body is kept in contact with a cold body, it is noticed after some time that the hot body becomes less hot and the cold body becomes less cold. So what happens? This happens because of the flow of heat from hot body to the cold body. If a hot body and cold body are kept in contact, heat flows from hot body to cold body. The body which imparts heat is said to be at higher temperature. Imparts means gives. The body which gives heat is said to be at a higher temperature than the body which receives heat. तो हमेशा याद रखना, heat flows from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. It can be described like this. This is the direction of flow of heat. Now, wonder about one thing. This is the body at higher temperature. This is the body at lower temperature. Till when will the heat flow from body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature, or a hot body to a cold body? Till when will it continue to happen? ठीक है, heat will flow from body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature till both the bodies are at the same temperature, till both the bodies attain the same temperature, or till both the bodies have the same amount of heat. ठीक है, so temperature determines the direction of flow of heat. When a body receives heat energy, the particles constituting the body starts vibrating more vigorously and its temperature rises, provided its physical state or dimensions remain unchanged. So temperature has its own definition. Temperature is a quantity which tells the thermal state of a body. Please remember this. Temperature is a quantity which tells the thermal state of a body. That is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It determines the direction of flow of heat when two bodies at different temperatures are placed in contact. टेम्परेचर एक ऐसी क्वांटिटी है जो किसी भी बॉडी का थर्मल स्टेट बताती है. दैट इज द डिग्री ऑफ हॉटनेस और कोल्डनेस, एंड इट ऑल्सो डिटरमाइंस द डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्लो ऑफ हीट when two bodies of different temperatures are kept or placed in contact. ठीक है, please remember this definition. If there is no transfer of heat between two bodies placed in contact, that means they are said to be at the same temperature. अगर उनका टेम्परेचर सेम है तो ट्रांसफर ऑफ हीट नहीं होगा. बट इट डज नॉट मीन दैट दे हैव इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ हीट इन देम. ये भी बहुत ज़रूरी बात है. सपोज मेरे पास वाटर है 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे और मेरे पास कॉपर है जिसका टेम्परेचर भी 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस है. ठीक है, तो दोनों के बीच में हीट ट्रांसफ़र नहीं होगी. बट इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि दोनों में इक्वल अमाउंट्स ऑफ हीट है. Water at 100 degree Celsius possesses far more amount of heat than copper at 100 degree Celsius. बट क्योंकि दोनों का टेम्परेचर 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस है इसलिए हीट ट्रांसफर नहीं होगी when they are kept in contact. ठीक है, सो व्हेन हीट ट्रांसफर स्टॉप्स इसका मतलब है टेम्परेचर सेम हो गया है. अमाउंट ऑफ हीट कंटेन्ड इन द बॉडी सेम है या नहीं, दैट वी कैन नॉट completely agree. It depends on the type and nature of materials which are kept in contact. ठीक है, temperature alone does not tell us about the quantity of heat energy contained in a body. टेम्परेचर अकेला कितनी हीट है किसी बॉडी में उसके बारे में हमें कुछ नहीं बोलता. ठीक है, एक्सपेरिमेंटली वी फाइंड that by imparting same quantity of heat energy to different bodies, they get heated to different temperatures. मतलब if you provide the same amount of heat energy to different bodies, they get heated to different temperatures. So how much a body will get heated, to which temperature will it get heated on imparting a certain amount of heat energy depends on a quantity which is known as specific heat capacity, जिसके बारे में तुम क्लास 10th में पढ़ोगे. लेकिन अभी क्या समझना है हमें, we have to understand that if you supply a certain amount of heat energy to different bodies, they will not raise their temperature by the same amount. They will all raise their temperature by different amounts. Okay, please remember that. So the amount of heat energy contained in a body depends on its mass, temperature and material. We are going to study about that in class 10th. Here we have to focus again on temperature. We have studied units of temperature. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin, symbol is capital K. The other most common unit of temperature is degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. The temperature on Celsius scale and Kelvin scale are related as follows. T Kelvin is equal to 273 plus T degree Celsius. So what you do is you add 273 to the temperature in degree Celsius and we get the temperature in Kelvin. If you want to get the temperature in degree Celsius, from Kelvin you subtract 273 from the temperature in Kelvin, so you get the temperature in degree Celsius. ठीक है, there is one more scale. These are two important and you can say most commonly used scales, degree Celsius and Kelvin. But there is a third scale. The third scale is Fahrenheit scale. So Fahrenheit scales are mostly used for measuring the temperature of a body, that is a human body or a living body. Okay, so in biology, whatever temperature measurements we are doing, that is clinical thermometers, which we use to measure the temperature of our body, they have they use the Fahrenheit scale for measuring the temperature. Okay, so remember that uh, there are there is a laboratory thermometer, which can be in Kelvin or degrees Celsius. Then there is a clinical thermometer, which can be in Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. So degrees Celsius is a common kind of a scale, but clinical thermometer you generally find them in Fahrenheit scale. So you might have heard that somebody has fever. We tell that the fever is 100 or 101. So what is that 100 and 101 and something like that? These are the temperatures in Fahrenheit scale. So that's 100, 101 Fahrenheit. The normal temperature of the body is 98.5 or 98.8 Fahrenheit, which comes out to be 38.7 or 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's the normal temperature of our human body. But why are we studying this Fahrenheit scale? See, this is just because we are trying to understand the meaning of temperature. Okay, so we must have this knowledge of, uh, knowledge about what is degree Celsius, what is Fahrenheit. The ice point is 0 degree Celsius on Celsius scale, 32 degree Fahrenheit on 32 degree Fahrenheit on Fahrenheit scale, and 273 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. That means ice point is freezing point, 0 degree Celsius, 273 Kelvin or 32 degree Fahrenheit. Steam point is 100 degree Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit or 373 Kelvin, boiling point of water. Thus, there are 100 equal degrees between the ice point and the steam point on both Celsius and Kelvin scale. So Celsius and Kelvin scale, uh, they agree with the value of their each division. Each division of Celsius scale and Kelvin scale have the equal meaning. They mean the same thing. Okay, but 180 equal divisions are there on the Fahrenheit scale between ice point and the steam point. So 1 degree on Celsius scale is 9 by 5 degrees on Fahrenheit scale. 1 degree on Celsius scale is 9 by 5 degrees on Fahrenheit scale. So we don't have any interconversion between Fahrenheit and Celsius, but we have between Celsius and Kelvin that we have already studied in chemistry. Okay. So here they have given the difference between heat and temperature. Whatever we have studied till now, they have been those points have been nicely described in these 6 differences which you see over here between heat and temperature. So if you want to quickly revise the topics which we have done till now, you can just read these differences between heat and temperature, and you will know almost everything what we have learned till now, almost everything. Okay, so this is for your reference. I will go ahead. Okay, so there is one relation which is given over here. Before that, there is one more fact. The zero on Kelvin scale is called absolute zero because that is lowest attainable temperature. So you can say that 0 Kelvin is absolute zero, as it is the lowest attainable temperature. 0 Kelvin, that's not okay, that is 0 Kelvin, okay, is absolute zero as it is the lowest attainable temperature. इसका मतलब है in this whole uh, world or universe, as far as we know, there is no object whose temperature is lower than 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin पे सारी molecular activity cease हो जाती है, and the body is said to uh, be possessing zero amount of heat. So 0 Kelvin, it is the lowest attainable temperature. ठीक है? Now, there is a relationship between Celsius and Fahrenheit. C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. Celsius by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. So if you want to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius, you can use this formula. Okay. So that was all about temperature, scales, the concept of heat, everything. Okay. Let's study about what is thermal expansion. See, if you apply or if you supply heat to any body, it expands. So bodies or substances, they expand on heating and they contract on cooling. That is very, you can say, usual phenomena. So expansion of a substance on heating is called thermal expansion of that substance. Expansion on heating is known as thermal expansion. So solid which has definite shape, when it is heated, it expands in all directions. That is length, area, and volume. All increases on heating. The increase in length is called linear expansion. So suppose you have a wire, you heat it, the wire will become longer. So it has undergone linear expansion. The increase in area is called superficial expansion. Suppose you have a metallic plate and if you heat it, its area will increase. So that it is known as it has undergone superficial expansion. Then if its volume increases, then it will be called as cubical expansion, increase in volume. The liquids and gases do not have definite shape, so they have only cubical or volume expansion. But solids में linear, superficial and cubical तीनों होता है. On heating, liquids expand more than the solids and gases expands much more than the liquids. ठीक है? So liquid और gases का expansion थोड़ा सा अलग रहता है. They expand much more than compared to solid. Some substances such as water from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. Silver iodide from 80 degrees Celsius to 141 degrees Celsius. And silica below minus 80 degrees Celsius contract on heating and expand on cooling. So this is a very unusual behavior of these substances. Water is not the only substance which has this unusual behavior. This unusual behavior of anomalous expansion is shown by silver iodide and silica also in a certain temperature range. But why we talk about water? Because water is very common. And this expansion, this anomalous expansion on cooling is really, you can say it stands out and it has many natural consequences. That's why we talk about only about water. Okay, the expansion of a substance on cooling in a certain range of a temperature is called anomalous expansion of that substance. So here we shall study anomalous expansion of water only. Okay, so suppose we take some water at 0 degrees Celsius and start heating it, we find that it contracts instead of expanding, and this in the temperature range of 0 to 4 degrees Celsius it will start contracting. If you heat it, just imagine you're heating it and it is contracting, its volume is decreasing, it is not expanding. So that's a very unusual behavior. That's why it is known as anomalous expansion. On heating it further above 4 degrees Celsius, it is 4 degrees Celsius, it expands. Similarly, if water is initially at a temperature above 4 degrees Celsius and if it is cooled, then it starts expanding. So what happens, I'll show you. Suppose I have water at 10 degrees Celsius and I am cooling this water. Okay, so on cooling, water contracts just like any other uh, substance, but only up to 4 degrees Celsius. On cooling further below 4 degrees Celsius, water expands. So water expands in the range of 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. ठीक है, water expands up to 0 degrees Celsius. So water was at 10 degrees Celsius, we cooled it down and water was contracting, very normal behavior. But then it started, on cooling further below 4 degrees Celsius, it started showing this unusual behavior of expansion. Water started expanding up to 0 degrees Celsius. So from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, water is showing this anomalous behavior. Anomalous is unusual behavior, weird behavior. Yeah, the same happens when you heat water. Suppose you have water at 0 degrees Celsius and you heat it, what will happen? Water will contract on heating from on heating from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. Water will contract on heating from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, so water at 0 degrees Celsius, when it is heated, it will start contracting on heating from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, and on further heating, water will start expanding just like a usual substance, 4 degrees Celsius onwards or above 4 degrees Celsius. So here there is this anomalous behavior. Water was at 0 degrees Celsius, we heated it, it should expand, but it started contracting from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So this is nothing but the anomalous behavior. Okay, so now I think you understand what is anomalous behavior of water. The expansion of water when it is cooled from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius is anomalous expansion of water. So we are only focusing on anomalous expansion. Okay, here there is this graph which shows the variation in volume of water in the range of temperature of 0 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. What is happening from 0 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius with water and its volume? At 0 degrees Celsius, let me show you on the graph. At 0 degrees Celsius, the volume of 1 gram of water is approximately more than 1.0001 centimeter cube. Okay. Now, when we start heating it, its volume goes on decreasing. Generally, its volume should increase because we are heating it. We are increasing the temperature. So the volume should increase. No, but its volume decreases. And it attains the lowest value of 1.0000 centimeter cube at 4 degrees Celsius. On heating, further heating, on continuous heating above 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? On further heating, the volume of water increases, just like any normal substance. So this is the kind of curve which shows anomalous expansion of water on heating. Okay, first it contracts, its volume decreases, then it expands beyond 4 degrees Celsius when its volume uh, increases. Okay, let me show you something. So suppose I have this another substance, let's say any other substance, any other liquid, alcohol, or for that matter, uh, any other acid or any liquid we can take. Their expansion curve or their graph between volume and temperature will not be like this, will not make a U shape. It will be like this. It can be like this. So what do you mean? This means that its temperature, when it is increased from 0, its volume also increases. So it does not show any anomalous behavior. And this substance is any other substance than water. Only water shows this anomalous behavior. That's why its graph is like this. Very unusual graph. Okay, so the next graph, 6.2, it shows the variation of density of water with temperature in the range of 0 to 10 degrees Celsius. So on heating water from 0 degrees Celsius up to 10 degrees Celsius, its volume decreases, it contracts. When it contracts, its density starts increasing up to 4 degrees Celsius. So that part has been shown by this curve up to here. So at 0 degrees Celsius, the density is little less than 0.9999 gram per centimeter cube. At 4 degrees Celsius, this density increases and becomes maximum of 1 gram per centimeter cube. And then on further heating beyond 4 degrees Celsius, water starts expanding just like any other normal substance and its density starts decreasing. Okay? Generally, the density of any other body on heating, it follows this kind of a curve. I'll show you. Generally, for any body, the variation of density with temperature is like this. So density goes on decreasing on increasing the temperature on heating because of expansion. But water has this unusual curve because of its anomalous expansion. Okay, now there is one experiment we will study in this part, which is Hope's experiment to demonstrate the anomalous expansion of water. So 1805, was the year when scientist T.C. Hope devised a simple arrangement known as Hope's apparatus. This is Hope's apparatus for demonstrating the anomalous expansion of water. The apparatus consists of a tall metallic cylinder provided with two side openings, P near the top and Q near the bottom. And this P and Q openings are fitted with thermometer T1 and T2. The central part of cylinder is surrounded by a cylindrical trough containing a freezing mixture of ice and salt. So freezing mixture is kept here because it will absorb the heat from water and it will basically drop the temperature of water and eventually freeze it. The cylinder is fitted with pure water at room temperature, filled with pure water at room temperature, and the temperature recorded by both the thermometer is observed at regular intervals of time. So what is the observation? See, initially both the thermometers T1 and T2 show the same temperature. मतलब अगर इनिशियल टेम्परेचर दोनों थर्मोमीटर में 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस है तो वो साथ में ड्रॉप होगा 20, 19, 18, 17 and so on. The temperature in both the thermometer goes down by the same amount together. First, the temperature recorded by lower thermometer T2 starts decreasing and finally it becomes steady at 4 degrees Celsius. While the temperature recorded in upper thermometer T1 remains almost unchanged during this time. तो इसका मतलब है कि सबसे पहले ये जो लोअर थर्मोमीटर है उसका टेम्परेचर 4 डिग्री तक आके रुक जाएगा. मतलब द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द लोअर थर्मोमीटर विल फॉल फर्स्ट. It will fall first. It will fall up to 4 degrees Celsius and it will stop there. And the temperature of the upper thermometer will remain unchanged in this duration of time. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले किसका टेम्परेचर कम होगा? लोअर थर्मोमीटर का. कम होके कितने पे रुक जाएगा? 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे. अपर थर्मोमीटर में कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा. ठीक है. While the temperature recorded by lower thermometer T2 remains constant at 4 degrees Celsius, upper thermometer T1 shows continuous fall in temperature up to 0 degrees Celsius. अब जबकि lower thermometer T2 का temperature 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस हो गया, अब upper thermometer का temperature धीरे धीरे गिरना शुरू होगा. And now it will fall beyond 4 degrees Celsius. It will reach up to 0 degrees Celsius and then it also becomes steady. Thus, the final temperature recorded by the upper thermometer is 0 degree Celsius and lower thermometer is 4 degree Celsius. ये जो figure है यहाँ पे variation in temperature recorded by thermometer T1 and T2 with time दिखाया है. For T1, the temperature is almost steady at 12 degrees Celsius or whatever the temperature initially was, and then it suddenly drops to 0 degrees Celsius. But for T2, the temperature suddenly drops from 12 to 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस एंड देन इट बिकम स्टेडी. ठीक है. अच्छा, इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन क्या है? इसके क्यों ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्यों दोनों टेम्परेचर का दोनों थर्मोमीटर का टेम्परेचर सेम अमाउंट से या सेम लेवल पे या सेम मेथड से फॉल या स्टेडी क्यों नहीं हो जाता? सो उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन हमें समझना पड़ेगा. इनिशियली water in cylinder is at room temperature, let's say 12 degree Celsius, which is indicated by point A in the graphs. ठीक है. पॉइंट ए क्या बताता है हमें? इनिशियल टेम्परेचर ऑफ वाटर इन द होल सिलेंडर. तो दोनों थर्मोमीटर में जो पॉइंट ए है वो इनिशियल टेम्परेचर 12 डिग्री सेल्सियस एग्जिबिट कर रहा है. ठीक है. एज द फ्रीजिंग मिक्सचर कूल्स वाटर इन द सेंट्रल पोर्शन ऑफ द सिलेंडर. मतलब यहाँ पे फ्रीजिंग मिक्सचर है तो सेंट्रल पोर्शन वाला जो वाटर है वो कूल होगा, कूल होना शुरू हो जाएगा. द वाटर स्टार्ट्स कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग एंड द डेंसिटी इंक्रीजेस. ठीक है. वाटर पूरा वाटर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होना शुरू करेगा या सेंट्रल पार्ट का वाटर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होना शुरू करेगा और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होते ही उसकी डेंसिटी बढ़ जाएगी. डेंसिटी बढ़ जाएगी तो वाटर कहाँ जाएगा? डेंसिटी बढ़ते ही वाटर नीचे की तरफ जाएगा और नीचे का वाटर ऊपर आ जाएगा. मतलब नीचे की तरफ ऐसे कन्वेक्शन करंट्स फॉर्म होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. ऊपर वाला वाटर, सेंट्रल पार्ट वाला वाटर नीचे जाएगा और नीचे वाला वाटर सेंट्रल पार्ट में आएगा. ठीक है. सो दिस स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग व्हेन the freezing mixture starts cooling the water in the central portion of the cylinder. ठीक है. Consequently, cooled water sinks to the bottom. Warm water from the bottom rises up to the central part and takes the part of the cold water. So by convection, water of the lower part cools. So the reading of the lower thermometer T2 falls rapidly. इसके लिए ये जो T2 है उसका रीडिंग जल्दी जल्दी फॉल होता है, क्योंकि ये सिर्फ कूलिंग जो हो रहा है दैट इज ओनली इन द लोअर पार्ट, दैट इज ड्यू टू decrease in the volume or increase in the density of the water in the central part. ठीक है, तो लोअर पार्ट जल्दी कूल हो जाता है और सडनली उसका टेम्परेचर 4 डिग्री हो जाता है. हाँ, the reading of upper part does not change in this whole process because the temperature of water in the upper part does not change. This continues till the temperature of entire water below the central portion reaches 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस. अब होगा क्या कि सेंट्रल पोर्शन से नीचे वाला जो वाटर है वो पूरा 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे आ गया, वो पूरा कूल होके 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे आ गया. सेंट्रल पोर्शन वाला वाटर भी 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे आ गया, लेकिन अपर पोर्शन में जो इनिशियल टेम्परेचर है वाटर का दैट इज 12 डिग्री सेल्सियस. Now, what happens? On further cooling below 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस, हमने अभी भी फ्रीजिंग मिक्सचर उधर ही रखा है, तो अगर हम फर्दर कूल करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Yeah. So on further cooling below 4 degree Celsius due to anomalous expansion, water of the central portion now expands. अब यहाँ पे सेंट्रल पार्ट में जो वाटर है वो ऑलरेडी 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस पे आ गया, उसको और कूल कर रहा है, तो मतलब अब 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस के बिलो कूल करने पे वाटर एक्सपांड होता है ड्यू टू इट्स एनामलस एक्सपांशन, और एक्सपांड होते ही उसकी डेंसिटी डिक्रीज होती है. डेंसिटी डिक्रीज होगी तो ये कहाँ पे जाएगा? डेंसिटी डिक्रीज होगी तो इट विल राइज अप, इट विल गो अप, और ऊपर जाते ही ये ऊपर वाला जो वाटर है उसकी जगह ले लेगा, सेंट्रल वाला वाटर. तो जितना भी वाटर यहाँ पे है वो ऊपर जाएगा और ऊपर वाला वाटर कहाँ पे आएगा, उसकी जगह ले लेगा यहाँ पे. तो सडनली जो ऊपर वाला वाटर है वहाँ पे टेम्परेचर 12 था इनिशियली, उससे फॉल होके कितना हो गया? 4 डिग्री पे आ गया. बट वो कंटिन्यू फॉल होता रहेगा क्योंकि नाउ मोर एंड मोर वाटर इज कूलिंग फर्दर below 4 degree Celsius, expanding and rising above. 3 degree Celsius, cooling further, expanding, rising above. 2 degree Celsius, cooling further, expanding, rising above. तो जो भी ठंडा पानी है जो एक्सपांड हो रहा है धीरे धीरे वो ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है. अच्छा, ये वाटर कब तक एक्सपांड होगा? टिल व्हाट टाइम, till what temperature will it go on expanding? It will expand only up to 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस. मतलब ऊपर वाले थर्मोमीटर में जब तक टेम्परेचर 0 डिग्री नहीं हो जाता तब तक ये एक्सपांशन चलता रहेगा, और वाटर नियर द टॉप नाउ स्टार्ट्स फ्रीजिंग बिकॉज उसकी उसकी डेंसिटी अब सबसे मिनिमम हो गई. सो थर्मोमीटर T1 shows the steady temperature of 0 degree Celsius near the top. This is shown by part BC in the graph. In the graph of T1, you see over here BC, this part. ठीक है. So this shows that water does not cool or does not release heat equally in its volume. It cools by different amount, and due to anomalous expansion certain amount of water only freezes. ठीक है, मतलब पूरा वाटर फ्रीज नहीं होता है. ठीक है. सो इसका जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है एनामलस एक्सपांशन ऑफ वाटर का हम सब जानते हैं, दैट इट हेल्प्स इन प्रिजर्विंग द एक्वाटिक लाइफ ड्यूरिंग द वेरी कोल्ड वेदर. क्योंकि विंटर में जब टेम्परेचर फॉल होना शुरू होता है कोल्ड कंट्रीज में बिलो 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस किसी भी पॉन्ड या रिवर या सी में, तो क्या होता है? द वाटर स्टार्ट्स expanding, and when the water starts expanding its density goes on decreasing. So when the temperature of water surface falls, water contracts, so its density increases and therefore it sinks to the bottom. But this continues till the temperature of entire water reaches to 4 degrees Celsius. But from further cooling of top layers below 4 degrees Celsius, The results in expansion of water and its density decreases. As a result, water does not sink below and it remains on the surface. When the temperature of atmosphere falls below 0 degrees Celsius, water on the surface rejects heat to the atmosphere and gradually freezes to ice. But water well below the ice layer remains at 4 degrees Celsius. The water layer just below the ice in contact with it will be at 0 degrees Celsius. Right? So water just beneath the upper layer of ice will be at 0 degrees Celsius, but water down below 0 degrees Celsius will be at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay? So there is a formation of ice. Now ice is poor conductor of heat, so it does not allow or it prevents the flow of heat of water from uh, water to the surroundings. Okay, so temperature of water in contact with ice is at 0 degrees Celsius, while the temperature of water layers below the ice gradually increases to 4 degrees Celsius. As a result, fish and other aquatic creatures remain alive in water of pond or lake, though water on the surface has frozen into ice. Nature thus protects the aquatic life during the winter season. Then the anomalous expansion of water. It is responsible for burst of water pipelines and destruction of crops during the very cold nights. Since the atmospheric temperature starts falling below 4 degrees Celsius in cold regions, water in pipelines expands and it exerts a large pressure on the pipes, causing them to burst. Plants also die for the same reason, as their capillaries burst when the water expands below 4 degrees Celsius. To protect the plants, the field is filled with water. So इसका जो reason है, that is high specific heat capacity of water, which you will study in class 10th. Okay, so that was the first part of the chapter. I want you to complete exercise 6A, very simple, and the rest of the part of the chapters are also very simple. I'm going to cover them in the upcoming videos. So please watch this video and complete exercise 6A. See you in the next class. Bye bye.